Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Lisa here from Pretty Fabulous, and we are going to do another Adobe InDesign tutorial. So, if you are just joining or you're new here, I am doing tutorials every day this week. And honestly, we probably might have to do another week next month where I'm just going live every day to show you how to edit some of the InDesign templates that are in Planner Pixies, which is basically the best deal I've ever had, which is unlimited downloads to every single Adobe InDesign template I've ever made. However, the reason I'm doing these tutorials is because in ThriveCard, I'm trying to show you how to edit each one. And I noticed that some of the older ones did not have videos. I used to just make things and I'm like, here, just buy it. And so I would just spend a lot of time on mockups. And I don't know why, I just never thought to do it live. So I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly how to edit today's template. So today's template is the fitness. It's called the Bikini Ready template. And these were actually some of these earlier ones are templates that I created for myself, like in my own business. When I thought I wanted to be a fitness coach. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. But then it just didn't work out. So I just took all of these and just made them into templates that you can use. And even if you don't do fitness, you could change this to something else, like another 4-week program. So this is, I don't know why. I'll be honest. I gave you two files, and so one file has images, and then the other has no images. And I think in theory, I was like, it will be easier for them to upload a new photo or image if they start out with a file that has no images in it. That's all I can think of as the reason that I did that. So let me just show you. We'll start with the one without images. How about that? So I really like to go to Adobe Stock for all of my images. Two reasons, and I've mentioned this before. One, I know if I resell something, I am not going to get in trouble, right, for using those images inside of that I get from Adobe Stock. That the same is not true if I go to anybody else's photo stock library. You'll have to check with them to be sure, but 9 times out of 10, they do not want you to profit from those photos. They really intend for you to use those photos for social media posts, and that's it. They don't want you to actually make a product and then sell it because then they feel like you have unfairly used their photos, and that's not what they meant them for. They only meant them for social media or for fun or something. So, anyways, what I would like to do is like just use probably a fitness photo. So maybe a good fitness photo. Do I even have one? Might be this one here. So I'm just going to drag and drop it. And now it's on the page. So it's a little to the rightish. So maybe we'll just move it slightly, or it's to the leftish. So maybe we'll just move it. So it looks like it's just a little too small. So I'll just hit this and we'll take this and just make that a little bigger. All right. It is still not moving. Oh, I see what I did. So the blue line is the bounding box that's over here, the selection tool. And so you can see it ends a little short of the right. So if I pull this out, it should just fix that. There we go. And now it's fixed. So now you have a photo for your cover. And again, Fit and Wordy Girl was the name of my brand, which I don't know why. I had this like crazy idea that I was going to do fitness and it was going to be for writers. And I can confirm that no writers ever in the history of time have ever been interested in getting fit, like together, like as a combo. Not saying that they're not fit. They're just never, they're like, either I want to learn how to write or I want to learn fitness, but I don't want to do them together. So you can change this. So if we go over here to the type tool, we can just change this to anything else. Fitness, fitness forever. How about that? It's a much better like name. So we can try to make this a little smaller. Uh, 18. Okay, maybe that's too small. 50. That's too big. 40. There we go. So now it takes up the whole area, fitness forever. And we can call this the 4-week bikini ready program or whatever you want to do. And you can change these fonts as well. So maybe I want this to be a different type of font down here. And I can go over here and change it to something else, say something fun. And now it's too big, so I can just shrink that down till it kind of takes up a better amount of space. Whoops. There we go. So now it's fit. And the other thing too is you don't even need that box that you see behind here, that white box. So this white box, what I could do is I could delete that totally if I just don't like it. Oops, I deleted the text. Not mean to do that. Or I could change the color. So if I go to Window and I go to Layers, that will bring up the layers panel. So we can kind of see over here, if I want to figure out which rectangle box that corresponds to, I can turn this on and off. Okay, so that's the rectangle at the bottom. Over here, that's not that rectangle either. So let's go here. There we go. So it's this rectangle. So what you want to do is you can highlight that one rectangle because now we know what it is. And you can right click and say select item. So now that item is selected. So I could change this opacity. I could make it a pink background. And again, I can change that opacity down to something smaller, or I could change this to a yellow, and I could change that opacity to be brighter. And then what I could do is, because it's not contrasting, and again, I know these are horrible colors, I could select that text, that type box, and we can come up here to the top. I can hit the type tool, and then we can change this color to a white. So now it stands out a little better in terms of a contrast. So those are a couple things you can do with this cover. And again, remember, you could just take this away entirely. Just check it out by just taking that little eye that you see over here and toggling it on and off in the layers panel. And remember, if you don't see the layers panel, just go up here to Window and then drop down and select layers and make sure there's a check mark. Anything that has a check mark in front of it over here is going to show up on your desktop. Now, when I say on your desktop, because sometimes with Adobe InDesign, I'll open up a panel and I can't see it anywhere on the InDesign panel, but for some reason it's taken the panel and it's put it, because I have two screens, it'll put it on a totally different screen somewhere else. So that can happen as well. So, these are floating panels. They could go anywhere. Over here, I could kind of drag and drop it. And now it's one of these three panels where it kind of looks like a website with tabs inside of it. So if you want everything to go to the right, you can. But remember, I can pull any of these out and just have it as a floating panel anywhere. Like, again, I can put it on the total opposite screen if I wanted. So that's how we do the cover. And again, all of the text should be pretty simple to edit. So, there's nothing like tricky or I guess, special feature about this. These were all kind of just, when I was first starting out, pretty plain text ones. So we can say this is yellow. And then what we could do is we could add another photo here. So again, one way to add photos is to drag and drop them into your document like we did with the cover. Another way, and let me make this a little smaller, is you could go to File, Place, and select your document from up here. And I think inside of here, we could do, I don't even know which one is which. We could open this one up. And now I have a loaded cursor, and we could go ahead and drag and drop this. So you can see this photo is not an 8.5 by 11. It is a different size. So again, what I could do is I can take this bounding box, because I do want it to kind of fill up the whole space. And I can take this and I can pull it over to the right. Now, the image didn't go to the right. So what I can do now is do the direct selection tool, which is the second little arrow here. It's a little confusing. One is hollow, one is solid. And then I can select just this image. And if I hold the shift key down and pull this out, it's going to expand it, but it's going to keep the dimensions so that she's not wider. It's also wider and taller. It's going to keep everything in proportion. So, I'm kind of happy with that. Obviously, my text went away, so we're going to go back over here to the selection tool, select this, and then I can do one of two things. One, I could right-click this and say arrange and click send to back, Or I can come over here to the layers panel. Let me pull it out because it looks confusing because the links are over here. I can come to the layers panel. I can see that that's that Adobe file, and I can just drag it all the way down to the bottom. So now it's on the bottom of the page. So the way that this photo looks, I've now covered up her face. So maybe I don't want to do that. So maybe I'll take this rectangle box and I'll just move it down. And then I'll take this text box and I'll move that down as well. So now everything is like in a better place. And then those 2 lines over here that I made, we can just take those, highlight those, and bring those down too. And if we want, because they're pink now that we changed everything to yellow, we can change these to yellow as well over here at the top. And it's a little harder to read because yellow is a lighter color. So we can come over here to this box, select it, and you can see I changed the opacity to 65. So maybe we just want to up that opacity a little bit more. So now it's a little bit more legible. And I'm going to take this box and just make it a little smaller or less tall. So now we can see more of this. And I feel like this is a more balanced photo, right? Or you can change the wording to whatever you want and expand and contract that rectangular box to fit it as well. So let's go ahead and just keep moving on to the next page. So here's the table of contents. And again, there are, I don't believe I put anything on the master pages. Oh, I lie. I did put stuff on the master pages, which I have to stop saying that. They changed the wording. These at the top are now called parent pages, if you can see that. And at the bottom, these are just your regular pages. And so there's this really, really barely visible line that you can see here. And when you hover over it, your cursor turns into a double arrow so that you can then just pull this up. And then it kind of gives you a little bit more space because you don't need as much at the top. So if I go to these pages, you can tell, like the page that I'm on right now, page 3, a parent page has been applied to it. So the A parent page over here, if I double click this, I can see that it has my website at the bottom and it has my tagline. And we talked about this on Monday, or I think it was even on Tuesday. These are all the taglines that I had for my original business. So we're going to change this over here to www. Whatever we want, fitness, what I called it, fitnessforever.com. And so that'll be down here. And then we'll change this to, I can't remember what the tagline I used from a live fit, eat fit, be fit, something like that was the tagline that I'd used. So now I've changed it. Now, if we go to each of these pages, if we go back to page 3, we can see it now says fitnessforever.com, live fit, eat fit, be fit. And also, if I double click through the pages that have the A parent page A applied, I can see that that now has been changed every single place that I saw. So that is really all you have to do. As you can see, I'll walk you through the rest of the pages. These pages were meant to have like a photo where you see like blank pages. So if we go back to the image with, or the document with images, you can see it's mostly just my images. But over here, I had put a bikini. I put some like, I think these are just generic photos of random stuff. Same thing over here, group fitness class. So just like fitnessy things. That other photo didn't even have anything. These are my favorite things in the whole world. Kangoos, I think they're called Kangoo jumps. I don't think anyone even uses them anymore, but they were super fun. They're so heavy to like carry around. Anyways, again, just a fitness page, and then some photos of food, like healthy food items, little food journal. You can change the shopping list to whatever you think should be in there. You can change that healthy recipe, the 4-week exercise calendar. What else do we have? Day 1 and 8 exercises. So it looks very similar to the other fitness journal that we had, but that was like a 30-day fitness journal. Look, I already mixed and matched that manifesto from yesterday here into this planner. And then just an end page at the very end. So you could look at this as a guide. And then when you make your own to kind of edit this, you can edit it with photos. But same thing, just think about all of the colors that you have, right? So if you have different colors for your brand, you could highlight any of these things and change any of the colors that you want on this page. So I hope that helps. Like let's say, I guess yellow is kind of, I was going to say maybe yellow could be your color, but I think, oh, actually, that's not bad. I was going to say yellow is hard to read, but this is not too bad. So anything that's pink, you can just go ahead and change to yellow as you go through this document. And then that could be, maybe that's your branding color is the yellow. And then the page, that box at the bottom, I believe that's on the parent page. Yeah. So that's on the parent page. So we can go over here. We can select that box. Whoops. Just the box, not the text. Let me go to rectangle, right click, select item. And now I'm going to change that to yellow. And if I double click on any of these pages, now we can see that that box at the bottom is yellow. So it looks like it matches a little better. These might be icons, to be honest. I don't know if you can change those. I don't think those are editable. They are not editable. So for the check boxes, those are set to just be, I think those are just images. So if I select this item, I don't think you can change those. So those are not changeable. And again, these were like the early days when I was making templates, and I really wasn't like intending this to be like given out, if that makes sense. I really kind of just created this so that why did I create this? So that I could use it for my own business. And then when I stopped doing fitness coaching, I was like, well, I can just give them away. So in case anybody else wants to do fitness coaching, these I believe you can change. So, oh, this is a good example here too. So in the layers panel, you see that little lock button. The lock button means that that's locked and you can't make changes until you hit the unlock. So that's also another good reason to double check on those things. So let me just make sure that nobody has any questions about anything. I'm looking on Crowdcast. I did not look on YouTube. So let's check that. Hey, Beverly. So it looks like Beverly is here, but I'm not sure if anyone else here. If you're watching this later and you have a question, just drop it down in the comments. I will see it and answer it. And obviously, if you're in Planner Pixies, let me know there too. You can post a comment inside of there. Okay, so let's say we want to change the color of this circle. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to select item. And then I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to change that to yellow. Now for each of these, you'll notice that you'll have to go in and select each one individually because again, that's just how the file is set up. And the last circle. And now it's yellow. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if you noticed this, whenever you highlight something over here in the layers panel, it doesn't automatically select it. You have to right click and tell Adobe InDesign, please select this item. And now you can see it has the brackets over it. So that's how you kind of update stuff. And again, you know, if yellow is your color, there's no really fast way to do this. You'll just have to go through each one. There aren't a lot of pages in here, just 17. So, you know, updating it shouldn't be that difficult. But this here in the back, so this very back page, I think I put this in here because let's turn that rectangle off and text frame. Nope. So we could get rid of that because obviously we've changed everything to yellow. And like on the other one, I think I just put a photo in the back. You could do the same thing over here. We could drag and drop another photo over here onto the back as our back cover. And again, it doesn't take up the whole width. So you could just make that box go all the way out to the edge. And then over here, sometimes if you click that button in the center, or you could use that direct selection tool, hold the shift key down, pull it out. It'll keep the dimensions. And now it's on the whole page. Obviously, you can't see the text. So we can go back here. And remember, I said you could either scroll it all the way to the bottom, or you could right click and, oops, or you could right click on that item and go to arrange and say bring to send to back. And then you can change, obviously, over here, the wording. So we could change this to, what did I say? Fitness forever. So we can make this fitness forever as the logo on the back. And then we can also change it because this is a pretty dark photo. I can go to the type tool, go up here, make sure T is selected, and we can change this to white. And so now you can see it a little better. Oops, I forgot to delete that S. So hopefully that gave you some ideas on things that you can change around inside of this template if you decide to use it. Even if you aren't doing fitness, it could just be something you send out in your newsletter to people like, hey, here's the 4-week diet I'm trying, or healthy habits or meal planning I'm trying for the month. Just sharing it in case it helps you to save time or energy or something like that. So that is a wrap for today's tutorial. And these are all pretty short. They're not meant to be super long. As you know, I am very chatty. Even if I'm here alone, I'll just keep talking and talking. But I will see you tomorrow. And on Friday, we're going to do the price list tomorrow. I'm going to show you how to edit that. And then on Saturday, we are going to show you, I am going to show you how to mix and match different pages within the Planner Pixies membership, because you do have about 1,000 pages. And yeah, so it's a lot. So we'll go through how you can kind of identify which pages you want and how to move them in between documents. All right, I hope everyone's having a fabulous and wonderful day, and I will